For this time, the quick speed shot. Check it out. Bam! I'm finishing up the front of Project Rusty Junk YJ with a custom bumper, some D-rings, and a receiver hitch. Let me show you how I did it. I'm a professional. Don't try this at home. Okay, so last time you saw, I went and I replaced the whole front frame rail here, put a extra support for the steering box. This is all welded up, all the springs are hooked back up here. So now we can concentrate on building the front bumper. And just like the rear bumper, which I built out of a quarter wall 2-inch square tube, I think I want to do that for the front here, make the same thing. I'm going to make a simple, just straight across tube bumper, real simple. You know, the factory of these Wranglers just had a piece of sheet metal channel bumper out to about here. So I want to make the bumper the same width as the fenders, but it's going to be the 2-inch piece. One of the things I want to incorporate is a receiver hitch that is going to mount right up here on top of the round cross member and tie in tight into the bumper. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to cut the tube for the bumper to the width of the outside of the fenders. I think that'll be a good width here. It'll be tucked in pretty good of the tires, and we'll get it up on here and see how we're going to make some mounts and get it all tied in. So this is my plan here to get rid of the body lift look. You'll see these rubber snubber blocks that would have rested on the stock frame height. Well, they're, what's this? I think 3 inches because it's 3-inch body lift. So I've got some 1.5 by 3-inch tube that fits perfect under here, and I think I'm going to use this to be my new bumper mount. So I'm going to weld these right to the frame, and then this 2-inch tube will be the bumper, but it'll be notched down into this, so it'll be down about this height to set the receiver hitch onto the round cross member here. Then the bumper will come back about this height here and come here, so it'll be stepped up so it'll look like stock height. Then I'm going to bead roll a piece of sheet metal, cut a piece like 16 gauge out, and then put a couple bead rolls in it and screw that down to this to make a sheet metal cover. So when you're seeing the final bumper, it'll be a frame rail, bumper, then a flat piece right up here to the grille. So it'll get rid of that body lift look, which I hate on the front. So this is my plan here to get rid of the body lift look. You'll see these rubber snubber blocks that would have rested on the stock frame height. Well, they're, what's this? I think 3 inches because it's 3-inch body lift. So I've got some 1.5 by 3-inch tube that fits perfect under here, and I think I'm going to use this to be my new bumper mount. So I'm going to weld these right to the frame, and then this 2-inch tube will be the bumper, but it'll be notched down into this, so it'll be down about this height to set the receiver hitch onto the round cross member here. Then the bumper will come back about this height here and come here, so it'll be stepped up so it'll look like stock height. Then I'm going to bead roll a piece of sheet metal, cut a piece like 16 gauge out, and then put a couple bead rolls in it and screw that down to this to make a sheet metal cover. So when you're seeing the final bumper, it'll be a frame rail, bumper, then a flat piece right up here to the grille. So it'll get rid of that body lift look, which I hate on the front. So now, just like in the back when I redid the frame rails back there, and now the bumper is set right up tight to the body in the back, the bumper will be set up tight to the body in the front, and it won't look like this thing has a stupid body lift on it like that. So that's my plan. I'm going to use this piece at this length because it's already cut out. Probably just bumper up there so it's at the snubber, and the bumper will sit out 2 inches in front of the existing frame, so it kind of give this, like, you know, step back look here. Okay, so I got these pieces tacked on here. Now you can see what I'm going for, that the rubber snubbers are sitting up here, and when I put a piece of metal across here, it'll look just like factory. Hold on a minute. What's this? I can demonstrate. Here's the original Jeep frame cover thing. It obviously been notched out for the body lift, but bam, you put that on there. Now look, it looks like there's no body lift. So anyways, get rid of you. Bam, so there we go. So I've cleaned up the front of this tube here, and I'm going to weld on some D-ring shackles just like in the back of the Jeep. Now in the last video when I redid the frame rail, I sleeved a piece of heavy wall Schedule 40 steel pipe inside this tube to here. I've just slid another one inside to here and butted them together, and I plug welded it here and welded it on the end. So this thing is doubled up. It's like 3/16 thick easily. So now my where is it? 6,000 pound D-rings here. These are for like trailers or whatever. I bought them at the trailer store. 6,130 pounds. So they got this real heavy duty piece that you weld on here. So bam! Now this pipe is double walled up, and I can just go ahead and weld this sucker up on here. There'll be one on each side for the you know, if you use your snatch block or whatever, or tying the thing down to the trailer. But it'd be super beefy. It's a good spot to locate them here. Bam, just like that. I wanted to get these welded on before the bumper bar because that's in the way here. But so what I do is I get down in here because it's such a deep weld. I'm going to do a root pass on both of them, and then I'm going to do a cover pass to fill up the void. So it's going to require some welding action. That's nice. So it'll take me about 5 minutes to weld these on because I got to do, like I said, 4 passes. So I'm going to let it cool down just a little bit so I don't superheat this tube. So I'll come back once these are welded up on, and then we'll start making the bumper up. Okay, I got my bumper pipe here cut and kind of smooth up and ground down. I haven't notched the pieces here yet. I'm also going to weld this to the bottom up first. That'll tell me how deep I got to notch it down. Before I do that, I'm thinking about, I want to have some kind of like grill guard on here, and I'm trying to think what to do. I've had these pieces of steel. They're like laser cut 1/4 inch. I got them out of a scrap bin at the steel yard, and I've been trying to think of something to do with them for multiple years now, and I think we can use them here on this thing. So I got some bends here, and I've been playing around with this for a while, but I think what I've come up with is I want to weld this here, a bend like this to make the outside grill guard. I think I want to do is cut this off here, use the upper 2 holes, put this green pipe into the upper hole because it fits there, and then put an 1.25 inch pipe up at the top. And I'm going to leave this part lean back in, kind of like mimic where the grill goes in here, and just make like a little brush guard that will have down piece here, then a pipe across the center, and then back down with just like a little detail leaning into the grill. First thing I'm going to do, before I do that though, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to weld this receiver hitch to the bottom of this bumper, burning it good on the bench, and then notch these down the width so this receiver hitch sits on top of the frame cross member down here where that's going to attach, and get this thing ready to go. Then we'll build the brush guard last. Okay, so I welded the receiver hitch on the bumper. It actually goes like this. Where is it? We're here. So, like I said, I got this, wanted to set this up on here, then have this weld down into the piece, but there's an 1.25 inch gap. So what I did is I measured down an 1.25 inch here, and I'm just going to notch this out, and then you see this diagonal line. When I get done welding the bumper into this, I'm going to cut this bottom of this tube off on a diagonal just like the rear bumper is. So I saw these out, and then I can take and I can weld this right in place here. Look at that! It worked! Perfect! So that fit up there nice and give me a nice big surface to weld all the way around on here. Then I can weld this hitch down here to the tube, and then I'm going to put a couple of those little diagonal braces back here to tie it up. But it's be nice and beefy. it'll mimic the look of the back bumper on the front. All right, bam, I got it tacked on here. Looking pretty good. And I just eyeballed it up straight and I measured it. Everything seems to be lined up pretty good. Looks good. Like I said, it's going to match the rear, the Jeep with the bumper up high and the shackles down low with the hitch and all that. So that'd be kind of cool. Okay, so I changed my mind in the beginning. I talked about using this thing and the shape just didn't really work out. So once again, I'm gonna have to save this for a future project. So I had these other pieces I got out of the scrap piece. They're a 1/4 inch and they're laser cut out, nice little shapes. And I think it's gonna work out good here because I'm gonna do the same idea as before. I'm gonna set these down here like this and cut and weld them on here, and this will be a little kind of like an old Willys type bumper on a Willys pickup over here. They cut down like this, and I'm going to put like an 1.5 or 2 inch tube down the center for a grill bar. I've leaned these back the same angle as the pitch of the front of the grill shell, so I'll just kind of like tie it together from the side. But these are this will be super cool. I think it's going to give it like a little custom look here. I might, because now the tail of the bumper is a little bit long, I might trim these off just a little bit so they don't stick out so far past the tube. I think it'd be cool, just a little detail so it looks a little fancier, a little fancy action. Bam, that's what I'm talking about. Check it out, this looks super awesome. So I've just used these little discs. I got a piece of Schedule 40 steel 1.5 inch pipe in here. I like the way it kind of kicks up. It's leaned at the same angle as the grill. It looks kind of like an old Willys bumper, and I think it, like size-wise, everything fits good. I like to step it up there, and I think that looks pretty trick. There we go. It's all painted up, all nice. Oh, what's this? A little piece there. Anyways, I trimmed off the ends of the bumper just a little bit, so it's a little tighter. But everything's all painted up nice now. The last step I want to do, like I said, I want to cover up this body lift area. So I got a piece of 18 gauge that is the right length to go and span the bumper frame rail extensions like that. So it'll make like a flat plate, kind of like the stock Jeep piece was. So I've marked it here. I'm going to break a 1 inch edge down and a 1/2 inch edge up, and that'll give this thing some rigidity to sit in there. So let's go over to the brake. So we'll go over here to the yonder brake. See if it's got the nuts to break this up. Oh, come back here. Man, this is 18 gauge. This should be able to do it. Let's see. Oh, it's struggling. It's struggling. It's. Dang it. Don't get these Harbor Freight brakes if you can avoid it. They're about one step above useless. Oh man, come on. One step above useless. Yeah, it won't bend it. I'm gonna have to take a body hammer and clamp this down on my steel table and hammer the edge over, because this thing's about useless for anything that's not like 24 gauge. Absolutely worthless. Don't waste your money on them. Don't waste your money on these. They're junk. that's nowhere near parallel because the stupid thing slipped on the original bend on that brake. Since the Harbor Freight brake is junk, I'm going to try some homemade brake action here. I got a piece of channel iron strapped to the table, and I'm just going to try to make my own brake. Clamp this piece of sheet metal right in here. Some C-clamps. Alright. Now, see if I can just bend this. Wrecking it. It's kind of working. Take a look and see what happened. Oh, would you look at that? Bam! I'm going to leave it just like that. I just got to notch the corners to fit down over the frame stubs here, and I might just have to notch the center a little bit. It's off by like about 1/8 of an inch, but when I put this on here, nobody will know the difference, and putting those two bends in there made this thing super strong now. So I'll just cut out these little corners so it can fit down in there. How awesome does that look? Bam, perfect. I'm just going to put a couple of zip screws right into here to hold it down. It fits perfect with the receiver hitch here. I'll paint it flat black to match everything else. But I made an awesome little detail here to cover all that up. Now it doesn't even look like there's a body lift on this Jeep at all, and it hides everything. For all the monkeying around that took, I think it came out awesome. Man, I mean, this edge is a little wonky, but paint it black, no, it won't matter. Bam, so that's it. All the fabbing I'm going to do on this Jeep for now is done. All I got to do is just finish out one little thing off camera. I'm just going to put the round rod in here for this other fender, like to match the other side, and paint it black. And I'll paint this black, but all the fabbing's done, and I can get out the door, and now we can get this thing going for some wheeling. So I'm happy with the way everything came out here. The bumper, I like the look of it. It'll be super rugged and kind of matches like an old school look for like an old Willys bumper sort of. So I'm happy with it, and best of all, it was free out of stuff I had laying around here. So that worked out good. And I'm excited to get this thing out on the trail. So thanks for watching. Please subscribe. I'm putting out new videos every Wednesday and Saturday. Hit the bell for alerts. Tell your friends. And we'll see you right back here at the Quick Speed Shop, finishing up Project Rusty Junk YJ.